Welcome back. Our webbing came in, so we're going to take a look at tying the etrier foot loop for the 2-tether. So I don't usually talk about equipment you need because I try to design this around a minimalist approach. If you can make fire, you can shrink, you can melt the ends of nylon, but the one thing you want to make or have is some kind of marlin spike. When it comes to adjusting or untying, it's pretty indispensable. So other than that, we have our I have 2 pieces of 1-inch webbing, tubular webbing. Each is 16 feet long. I'm going to take one of them and fold it in half. Get them untangled. I'll find the center. So I got the center, and to start this hitch, I'm going to offset about maybe 2 hands worth. 1, 2, somewhere over here should work. And I typically, when it comes to these stirrup, I'll tie them the same. Not they don't have a handedness. I suppose if you think of it, maybe both are right hand. But anyway, I'll lay this. This is my tether. That's where the end that will girth hitch the tree, and down here is the connection to the saddle. And I'll start by wrapping. I've changed this hitch a little bit from the previous video. I use fewer wraps, but then and it's a form of a distal hitch. But then I finished it a little differently. So there's one. I go 1, 2, 3 up. And before I did, I think I did 4 in the previous video, but the finish that I use now makes up for the fewer wraps. So I'm going to come back down 3, 1, 2, 3. Some of this will even itself out over a little bit of time, but when we finish this, we continue to wrap the same way, except we come down below this other leg and wrap and come out through the loop that this formed. So that's a distal hitch. And the previous way I tied it, I found that I needed 8 to hold my weight, but in climbing with this yesterday, I found that it there was a time where it would slip a little bit, and so I decided to try something else. And I was out there earlier testing it, and what I came up with was I'll form another one of these That's almost like a half hitch with the other leg. So this is the leg we wrapped down and wrapped through. And I'm going to come with this one and wrap around. And then go up through. So now it's got both of these ends will constrict on the rope, and kind of work this. Some of this will settle in as you use it, but and then let me fold it back here. When you tighten this up, you can grab the two ends and you pull them opposite the way they normally would be under tension. So if they're normally under tension down this way, you can pull them both up this way, and that kind of sets them, tightens them up. And I see this hitch, it's a modified distal hitch. I don't know what to call it yet, if anything. But it seems to work well. It breaks under load. It doesn't really jam too badly. I guess it can if this all tightens up. These spaces will go away if it tightens up, but the fix for that is just to twist it loose until the point where it frees up again and it moves. But so we go from here. This whichever way this lays the best, lays flat. I'm going to take the two strands and come down far enough to where I'm going to tie overhand knot in the two together as they're even, if they're pulled even. And that causes, no matter what foot loop we go into, it causes both legs to pull evenly and to constrict evenly, and the hitch works better. So I'm going to come down here, say so far, and this opening here works for a few things. We could put a hand in here. And use that as a handhold. We can hook your pack on here. But you can adjust that spacing, and you can adjust it even after the whole thing's been tied. So I'm going to come over here, maybe a span for now, and tie this overhand knot. Another thing I noticed when we tie these overhand knots here, form our foot loops, and if we put our weight above here, it tends to push the knot down. So maybe err on the side of tying the loop a little smaller as we go. Except for the last one, so this second one. So on the second loop, I'm going to take the longer leg of the two, which is I pull these up and show you here. I've got one that ends here, and the other one that ends here. I'm going to take this longer leg, I'm going to form the first foot loop. And there's really no rule on any of this. It's going to be whatever works out best, and you can change it up as you go. Another thing about this I wanted to mention is the 16-foot length gives you about 3 of these steps below this opening here. And right now, I'm going to go with that. Unless I find out I never use that bottom step. So anyway, I go about like that. Look at how it hangs. Can you get your foot in there easily? And I'm going to go ahead and tie an overhand knot right here. Both strands together. And hold it up. And this is what we got. So again, now our offset got a little shorter. Let's see, we'll go with the, so if we hold this up and we have one loop out this side, our next loop, we want to go on the opposite side. So, and I'll do that with the, I'm going to do that with the shorter strand, I think. Let's see how that works. And if it doesn't, we'll come back and fix it. But going with the shorter strand on the opposite side, so we can climb this like a like an actual ladder. And I'm going to tie another overhand knot here. And like I said, after you weight this, this knot seems to me that the knot moves down, that the loop does not get bigger, but the knot moves down. So that would be an adjustment we would make later. And then for our final step, I take the shorter end and start a tape knot here. Like this. And there are plenty of tutorials out there on how to tie this tape knot. But that'll form our last loop. So now we have this etrier style stirrup line with the integral hitch. Before we use a hitch cord, now we use just one piece of tubular webbing here. And this configuration really helps with bypassing limbs. And I made the video yesterday and posted it. I'll link it below. But being able to step up a few steps makes limb passing easier with the 2-tether. The only other, like as I said earlier, I might not need this bottom step. And then the step spacing is going to be whatever's a normal step up for you. If this is too long, or way too short, I would adjust from there. That's just a starting point. But the only other thing I might do, might make this a little more useful for climbing, if this bottom step is not needed, I might make it where this middle step, it has like 2 middle steps, and I would reconfigure this, but we'll burn that bridge when we get there. But I would tie that up, and I'd have 2 even steps, and that way, or for those that need more stability, need to put a foot in each step on the same tether, the same stirrup, that would be an option for when you need more stability on that, either to move up the tree or just to work on the other tether. So anyway, that's really all there is to it. This we'll do more climbing videos with this, but this I don't have a name for this. It's just a modified distal hitch, as far as I'm concerned, with the 2 ends constricting, and it moves up well. We could probably even do some almost like a SRT with that. Anyway, we can I'll tie the other foot loop, and then maybe next weekend I'll get back out there. It's supposed to be pretty cold this week, and I have to work. So let me know what you think. So far, I really like this configuration. I got rid of that TRC hitch cord up here. I think it's a neater. It has a neater profile on the 2 tether. The etrier makes bypassing limbs a little easier, because we can, once you get both tethers up above that limb, your first move is the upper tether again has to move up the tree. If you can't stand up, the only way to do that is to try to overextend yourself. And I don't like reaching that high or trying to reach that high. I'll be damned if I'm going to take a collapsible pole to climb a tree. It's ridiculous. So this gives the option that I can climb up. I got three steps on each tether that I can climb up until I can start moving them freely again. Other than that, let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe. Let's talk about this stuff. Let's make it easier, make life easier. Good hunting. Thanks for stopping by.